Okie dokie. I'm back, but who else is here with me? Double check on the stream. Looks like it's just me. Okay, that's fine. Let's actually switch into the show. There we go. Actually, make sure the size looks right. Oh boy, we're gonna be cutting off a good chunk of the screen today, aren't we? Yeah. Nothing important. Well, I don't know who all is here right now. I think people are just gonna be filing in, but I'm back. Oh crap, Shane's back. Thanks for the sub, Shane. I know. I don't think we're able to build up a streak after the whole paternity leave thing. For those not in the know for some reason, despite my constant plugging, I've been gone for a bit doing baby rearing stuff. Emerald Jr. arrived, so I don't think I've streamed since February. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So, what's going on is that for the time being, I'm just kind of like easing myself back in. Just to answer a few questions as to what's going on. So I'm coming on the tail end of my paternity leave. So at some point I am gonna have to return to like a normal schedule where I'm not like up from midnight to 7 anymore. This project right here is just for me to have the ability to actually start and finish something in relatively short order. I'm hoping before Christmas to have basically a story complete version of this game come out. It's a Pokemon Emerald ROM hack where it's just basically me making like a more complete single player experience with an actual story. So if you want to know more about it, there is a news post on it on SegaExtreme.net describing what the plan is for the game and also the download link for the IPS patch so that you too can rip your Pokemon Emerald ROM and patch it, assuming that you have an American version of Pokemon Emerald. Plan for tonight, I'm just going to hang out and hopefully people will be in chat to come talk about stuff and whatever, and I'm just going to be continuing doing my mapping. So, yeah, that's the thing. As originally, like a couple years back, I wanted to actually just do a Pokemon engine rebuild on the Saturn, so I could just like actually have like a Pokemon, not even like a ROM interpreter like most of these Pokemon fan games get away with, or a patch, but like an actual like just a Pokemon engine that you can just put in the map, and I was just gonna like clone like Gen 1 Pokemon or something like that and put it in there. The more you look at it, like Pokemon fan games are just Nintendo fan games in general, they're just not treated well by Nintendo. So this is definitely skating on the edge. But you know, the Pokemon aside, at the very least, the modifications that I do, as with all patches, would remain my intellectual property. The story that I write, etc., etc. I am using, you know, characters from the Pokemon franchise, and I'm sure they would have grounds to send me a C&D if they really wanted to. But I think, for the most part, Nintendo has just, like, ignored the ROM hacks. It's nowhere near as cool as Sega is, where, like, Sega will, like, literally talk about fan games and, like, even, like, accidentally promote them sometimes. But, yeah. For now, the beauty of this is the tool I'm using is called Hexmaniac Advance, and you can go up and get a copy for yourself. And there's a you just search for Hexmaniac Advance, and there's also a Discord with up-to-date releases. So if you look for that somewhere on the web, you'll find it. I forget exactly where I found the link for it, but it's not hidden or anything. And there's a pretty decent community there helping you use the tool, which is this. It's a nice graphical user interface for actually editing the ROMs. Okay, good. What's the goal for tonight? I have a map already planned out for the game. I have a story planned out for the game. I'm probably not going to be scripting too much of the story tonight. One, because spoilers, and two, because making a map is a lot easier than scripting events. So whatever events I do script, they're going to be like quick and easy, real, you know, rapidly put down. So the map we have so far. Oh, actually, let me get the real map. I say the real map, but it's really just instead of using Pokemon tiles, I'm using RPG Maker tiles to plan it out. So this is the planned map. Oh, Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I just appreciate anyone coming in to say hi. They don't have to stick around. I mean, there's mostly, like, this all gets pushed to YouTube anyway. And, like, people... I think more people end up watching my... With the rare exception. Where I have, like, a 50 or 100 person stream. More people watch my YouTube videos than actually come on stream, so... Hello, everyone on YouTube. So this is the map I planned out. You start out in Draco. You are the son of the gym leader there, but you are effectively you're going to be taking over the gym as the course of the story progresses. And I think right now what we have is Route 4, Draco, 6, Sculptor, Route 8, and then Route 15. Now, I need to remind myself, the story event on Route 15, does it force you back? No, it doesn't. I give the player the option to just keep going. They shouldn't, but they can't. What music is this? Why would you have the boost version? I thought that was just a filter. Why would you actually include the boost version in your soundtrack? Okay. Normally lyrics aren't allowed on stream, but I'm a fan of the Black Knight. This isn't the Black Knight. This is Secret Rings. What gives? Anyway, I'm a fan of the soundtrack, so it's gonna stay. Anyway, I think where I'm going to try to go here, the player doesn't have Surf yet, and I can either go through Apis, Mensa, Scorpius, or I could try to go down through Muska and Buotes. I'm not sure which direction I want to go. Effectively, I think what I should be aiming for first is to round out this rectangle of routes, and then get over here to the west side of the map and go through the cave systems, which should be a fun little exercise in doing an entirely internal portion of the map. The Eridanus hydroelectric dam, and then the big city with the four sister cities and Ara, and then finally Pisces. And I got to figure out where I want to put all the HMs and stuff, and how the player can actually obtain them. But as far as the spacing and the sizes of the maps, this is what I have planned so far. So this is going to be Route 18. So if I were to keep going south, I got to make Route 18. So don't trust myself doing math right now. So if Route 15... Oh, that looks wrong. Bank 31-0? Shouldn't that be 031? Huh. I screwed that one up. So I guess my next connection needs to be bank 030... 34? Yeah, bank 034. So let's make that connection. If it exists. Okay. Let's, and we gotta trim the connections on the other map, so... Trim that. Trim that. So I'm effectively, like, completely dismantling the original game. Let's see. Hidden item ID. So, hidden items. How are these going to work out? Is it, is that a flag? Never mind. There we go. Probably should be opening Chrome since it's already properly sized, but whatever. So, hidden item number 87. 87 in hex. I'm not gonna catch myself. 87 in hex, unless that's already in hex. So either I'm looking for 57 or 87. Net rival mom. Okay, definitely not that. So then where do the hidden items get stored in the oh, I see. Hidden items start. So 87. Are there literally 87 of these? Let's look for the max ether. Now Pyre exterior. Ether. Oh, there. So this is this guy right over here. So yeah, it's plus 57 on top of the hidden item flag. So that would mean that this thing would be 0 indexed, presumably. There you go. So the first hidden item I'd be able to put down would be hidden item number 0. And this goes all the way up to 87. So that's 87 decimal, x 57 hex. And that's where that is. So I'll keep in mind that's how that works. Secret base. Oh, yeah, I forgot this game had secret bases. I should probably put 1 or 2 of those. I'll figure out where I want to put them later. And I gotta number them too. That's gonna be fun. Delete all the trainers. Delete E. How does this event even work? It's an invisible, and the script is check item Devon scope. Oh, okay, so if I don't have the Devon scope, it will just say this, and if I do have it, it goes here. If I want to use a scope, and then thing faces me. Why all this NPC movement? Oh, it's flickering. Oh, that's neat. Okay, that's your flicker animation. Kick, wait on cry. Wait a second. Wild battle. All right. Yeah, that makes a. So I obviously I have a uncorrupted version of this game squared away. If I were to screw up significantly, I could simply observe what happens in the original game so that I don't have to try to recreate a lot of stuff from scratch. So a lot of this is going to be reverse engineering what original Pokemon Emerald did and how it did it. A lot of trees. So many events. This map has like 30 events or something. I wonder if I could just highlight and delete all of them. I don't know if that would be better. Oh, this is a secret base. Okay. So a lot of secret bases. So what? Did anyone actually use all these secret bases when playing Pokemon? Like you can only pick one, right? Like how many of these do you really need? Okay, item locations kind of make sense there. Oh, and as always, I'm on the Emerald Nova Discord. If you guys want to join in, hop in chat. It's perfectly fine. Why is there dead script here? Oh, I guess the script gets loaded in by the map loading. Yeah, let's check the map header. Yeah, transition and resume. Definitely map scripts there that do stuff. Probably manipulate these scripting events. Okay, where's my objects? 2. Last one. Alright. So, let's get this thing to be 32 tall. Okay, 2 more. There we go. Let's get these guys to line up. And then let's add, how does the map look? You. 132 section to the right. So I'm looking for 63, right? Even in audio, Green Hill is overdone. From 0. So then I stretch this thing to the left to hit 127. That's definitely too much. 137. Oh, too much by 10. Okay, -3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 127. So now, here's what we're gonna do. Border block. Let's put some tree in the border there. Just start grassing up the whole place. And then we'll map it. Why doesn't the top have a border on there? Oh, I missed a couple events. Not sure more will pop up. And just to put this in this corner over here. Okay, so we're gonna do real quick sanity check for the test. Okay, first off, I need to check. So I've had 1 or 2 kind of catastrophic accidents here, where the opening of the game kind of reset itself somehow, and then I just kind of bricked the whole ROM. So I just need to make sure that whatever I do retains the functionality of the ROM, which is why I have like several redundant backups at this point. Because at one point I think I lost like a full day's worth of okay, here's embedded story. Let's see what happens. We go down to Route 18. Okay, so the border blocks are working as intended. Oh, I didn't think the player could make it all the way here. Okay, fun. I should probably put a hidden item there or something. Think about that later. Okay, let's create a little save state here. And move on. So, a couple things. First, over here, I think I want to put in a few berry plants. I'm not going to put berry plants where it's snowing. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But, let me see. Berry ID 2, berry ID 4. So what kind of event? Object event? I'm sure there's a... It's a good place for berries. Here's a nice, annoying, out-of-the-way place for a player to have to go trek to. Oh crap, this is all low vision too. Yeah, so if you mix elevations, you'll actually kind of you'll just end up screwing up the whole map. You won't be able to pass from elevation 3 to 2 or something without a crossover. Gotta remind myself to always check the elevation. Ah, oh, this is wrong. 2 pass. How is all this wrong? See, I need testers. I need testers to tell me when I'm screwing up. I really need to start trimming down my playlist. Like, half the time when PSU comes out, it's something I don't want to listen to. Okay, let's fix the elevation. And I don't really need to fix the elevation in the center because you're not meant to be able to walk over those tiles, but whatever. Ah, welcome to the chat of the game. Yeah, I'm not willing to pay people to test a fan game. If anything, that sounds like I'm paying money for unwarranted attention on something that could get Nintendo to shut me down early. I mean, if Nintendo sends me a C&D on version 1.0, whatever, it's already out. I mean, I'll play it. Okay, Berry. Is Berry not a, Really? Berry's not a template. Huh. How do I do it over here? So it's an object event. Berry tree type movement. And the script is, well, this is just a script. So, let me just, I really wish I could clone objects. I think Haven's working on something like that, I don't know. Okay, script address. Trigger? Is it a... No, I did the wrong thing. I need, to treat it like an item or something. NPC? $60? Oh, there we go. Another secret rings track. Berry growth. Berry growth. Why is this not alphabetical? I mean, I can guess why. I'm pretty sure this is all indexed. There we go. So... Hey, Dojin. So, 0 flagged, 0 pad. It needs a berry ID. And 0 ranged. Also, the elevation needs to match, so let me make sure I'm doing that right. This is an elevation 2 area, downhill. Count 0. Berry ID, let's call this berry 5. Okay, so the fact that the initial berry populated tells me that this one's probably going to work. I've actually encountered not being able to put down a berry tree properly. Why is this wrong? Because of I don't know why, like certain berry trees in this game just don't work, which is why when I put this down, it's berry ID 1, 2, 4. So I'm just going to go out sequentially until one looks like it's not working right. So I'm doing minimal assembly. What I've had to do is I've had to have my handheld to change the opening sequence, because like in Emerald, it's basically hard coded. Like a lot of stuff is hard coded. Weirdly, I had to edit it so that the script calls at the beginning of the game, which is like it's not like a tile that you can interface with like in this interface. It's literally just something hard coded in the game. I had to route around them and just basically sell them, you know, null pointer or something like that. Make sure that they didn't trigger, because like at the beginning of the game, the screen shakes, a bunch of tiles move because you're in a moving truck, and then you have to get out and you're like forced into the house. And I had to like avoid all of that so I could just start in my room like in red, blue, green without the hassle. But yeah, so like the reason why I'm even doing this is because of tools like this. The maturity of the Pokemon ROM hacking scene makes it so that I can focus on making the game part of the game. Because like I still get questions about scenario, about like when I'm gonna get back to that or whatever. Like even when I was making the post about this game, I'm getting questioned about scenario. Scenario requires a whole engine, and like not even the first version of the engine that I made a couple years ago. Like I'm gonna have to like remake a physics engine for scenario, and it's in C, so I can do it. Like it's an achievable task. But then I need art assets, and I need like a degree of art assets that requires me to put in way more work than I'm willing to do right now, especially with a new kid. So here, all the art's ready, all the scripting's ready, the engine is done. The basic fundamental contents of the game are there. It's Pokemon. We know what the Pokemon are. We know what they do. I'm not changing the moves. I'm not changing, you know, how they work or what their learn set is or whatever. So it's effectively like all I'm doing is I get to focus on the design of, like, not even the full design of the game, because the mechanical design is done. I get to focus on the story, on the mapping, on the encounters. So it's like the most enjoyable, easiest parts of game development are the only ones I really need to focus on, and like the biggest headaches are just scripting specific things, and that's a matter of learning. And if any of them are here, I'd like to give a shout out to the HMA, you know, Pokemon ROM hacking community and the Discord and stuff. Haven and Shiny Till Dawn and Phoenix, if they're on, just, you know, wave high or something. Oh, I'm seeing in the Discord, like, they said, hey, we're interested, but the time zone's not right. So, which tells me, I guess they're not... I schedule my streams Eastern, even though I'm Mountain, so I'm assuming they're... So it's not quite ARM 7, or unless I'm thinking of it incorrectly, it's called Thumb. So it's like a stripped down version of ARM. If I'm recalling correctly. So I don't think it's full featured ARM. So like the biggest real game that I've actually like made to the point where it's like a playable experience is either like Blue Skies or Forsaken Plain. Forsaken Plain has a definitive end. Blue Skies is like kind of open, but I'm not really working on it, and you know, Xenos is impatient and doing his own stuff, so whatever, he's fine with it. I'm not really interested in Blue Skies to begin with. And that's like, Blue Skies is a whole year of my life. Forsaken Plain is like a week. And that's still a matter of how much work am I willing to put in. So the thing about Blue Skies is the physics engine went through so many rewrites. There's so much vestigial code in there that's commented out that I don't really like I fine-tuned it so it controls well. It feels good. But I don't like the fact that it's a really bad physics simulation of flight. I tried to make a decent simulation of flight with like the ability to list and stuff, but first off, the mathematics in the Saturn didn't allow for me to even keep track of the vectors correctly. Like the arctangent broke on me to the point where like I had to renormalize vectors every frame, and it wasn't worth it. I'm sure if I gave it another crack today, I'd do better. Oh yeah, and feedback is always desired and required. Which is why, like, I always post even. So, like, this game, I think the last version I pushed out is 0.06. It sounds really low, but there's enough stuff to do where you don't have to, like... It's not like there's nothing. Like, you can catch Pokemon, there's trainers to fight and rematch. I think the only thing that's missing is the gym leader progression. You need to be there. Okay. But yeah, I think the plan for this year is Pokemon Emerald Nova. And then if there's time and I pick up a little bit more Blender skills, I'm going to try my hand at doing a Galaxmus remake in 3D. I mean, no one's going to actually listen to the stream, so I can just say it's probably going to be a surprise for most people. Yeah, the cat wants attention. And then next year... So, you remember last competition, I submitted like this really last minute 1 or 2 day game, Galaxmus. It's basically just a shooter with Santa Claus. Xenos and, I think it was Malenko? Xenos and Malenko helped me with it? You have to go check the credits, I forget. Yeah. It's just like a Nintendo hard arcade shooter type deal, whatever. Yeah, scrolling shooter, exactly. And it was super bare bones, like less than a dozen sprites in the game, and it worked. I thought it was fun enough. Thought it worked. What's the most foresty area? Yeah, okay, I already have all the trees for the most foresty area I can imagine, so... I guess... That's a weird tile. Route 18. Do I want to put anything here? I definitely need to put something somewhere. there's a spot over here I'm gonna have to design. Now, importantly, yeah, I got like several hedgehog-related soundtracks loaded up. Okay, let's keep in mind that for this route I used 8cc. This is 7c4. Let's go through the list and see if I find a tile set that I feel like I can use. Honestly, I should be like editing my own tile sets, but I'm too lazy for that. This is going to be a very vanilla experience. This looks like a friggin' Pokemon Stadium map. This will be interesting for later. I'm definitely going to use this for something, but... Okay, maybe I'll start at the other end. Nah, this is more like a city. Yeah, it's very city-like. Geez, so many times. You know what? I just need to skip ahead of it. There we go. So this is another city, but it's like an interesting color palette. Yeah, I remember where this is from. Yeah, it's basically every city had its own unique palette of tiles just to put down. So, here's what I can do. I can open the original Pokemon Emerald. Come on. And go to the world map. And I could just go through and find a tile set that I enjoy. I'm probably not looking for something in the ocean. I don't know why I went in this direction. And then I can figure out what headers that map used, and I can copy it. Now, the thing is, Pokemon Emerald has... It's a lot of very samey stuff. Like, if you look what I did... yeah, so much water. I made, like, a winter area. I made a snow area. And I thought it came out looking pretty okay. But there's no snow area in Emerald. There's Shoal Cave. There's, like, one cave with ice in it, and that's it. I think it's only for... it wasn't even for Regice. It was, like, for something else. Regice is in a rock cave. Like, a brown rock cave. So there's a lot of missed potential with, like, variety in environments that I think Pokemon Gold and Silver ended up doing a lot better. There aren't snow tiles for a town because Pokemon Emerald severely underutilized a lot of biomes. So this is me putting down permafrost and then snow and then a grassy area so that it would blend well with the town tiles. And my excuse is, hey, the town is actually like trying to make it livable so it's not like disgustingly cold. If I wanted to, I would go into like paint or something and actually put in the correct backgrounds and blending so that these guys can all be under blue ice so I can blend it all together. But whatever, Sculptor is what it is. So all the ice part of the map is done, and if I'm going to put in more work, it's going to be to make new maps and not retouch up the old maps, which are already working just fine. I suppose... Yeah, let's go ahead. That's not a bad idea. I'll steal your idea. Who do I actually have sprites for? Slaka, Bidoof. It's not like I can just have like a roaming Charmander. There's a Torchic. Cyndaquil? You got Torchic, yeah, Cyndaquil. You don't have a Charmander. That's shameful. Cyndaquil. Yeah, that's all you got. And of course, the legendaries. I mean, I like the idea. I'm gonna use it. Let's figure out a way to use it correctly. That's huge. And it's obviously like a doll. So, that's not going up. It's not that big. Like when you put it down, it's reasonable size. Ah, dang it! Come on. I'm not gonna put down magma in Sculptor. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I have Phoenix, right? So like if we go back to the map, Phoenix is gonna be, there's gonna be plenty of room for like a volcano themed area. Phoenix and the roots up to the Phoenix from Scorpius and from Serpents. So it doesn't make sense for me to put an open pit of magma right up where the snowy pits are. I could actually, you know what? Pokemon Emerald has doesn't have hot springs, right? There's no Magmar sprite for the overworld. Yeah. Cyndaquil's like the only one that makes sense to me because he's like, he actually has fire coming out of it. Torchic is basically just a chicken. Like there's nothing fire about that besides the color palette. You colored it blue, you could easily be an ice type. Cyndaquil, it's a fire. Was it like a porcupine or hedgehog or something like that? Yeah, Quill. Yeah. So yeah, the hot springs actually would fit in with, because this is a Team Aqua occupied town. So it's fine. Where do they put those hot springs? Let's copy that. I'd even be able to copy the healing effects and skip the Pokemon Center altogether. Where did they put those? Oh, here, just Ice Heal. I could literally just copy the script and no one would care. Now, importantly, now here's the issue that's going to come up. I need these tiles to sell the effect, right? Otherwise it looks like I'm dipping into an ice bath. In Sculptor, those tiles aren't there. Or at the very least, I'm depending on these tiles, so that determines the second part of my map tile set. So the water that I have access to is this. So no bubbles. I could just do like a walkable bubble area, but one, there's nothing to sell the fact that you're walking in and out. Let's give it a shot. I'll put it over here. Here's what I can do. Is let's make this guy a little bigger. Oh wow, that doesn't work. No, why is this cross layers? It should be wall. A wall should default to wall, right? Yeah, I'm not crazy. And I'm not going to put windows on a hot spring because that feels inappropriate. I did have an opportunity to go to a hot spring. It's like an indoor onsen. It's like basically like a jacuzzi, basically, but in Japan. And yeah, they're pretty good on modesty and privacy where it's warranted. So like, you know, once you're in the area, you'll see a whole bunch of dog being slung around, but you won't be able to see outside the facility. The walls are tall. Like you have to look directly up to see like stars or sun or daylight or nightlight or whatever. This is not Advanced map. This is Hex Maniac Advance. Actually, there it is. See, Hex Maniac Advance. This is the latest beta. I grabbed off of the Discord. So I recommend that you guys, if you're interested in Pokemon ROM hacks, joining the Discord if you want to play around with just doing this. So, like, Advanced map, I think, like, the last update might have been, like, almost a decade ago or something. This, presumably, this is obviously being kept up to date, because, like, the last update was this month. Haven is active on the Discord and responds to feature requests and bug fixes and stuff like that. Okay, I'm gonna put this up there. This over here. Oh, that's another fun thing about the hard coding. There's so much hard coding going on here. So this is a warp tile, and you see the X is showing it's not going to do anything because it will only do stuff over certain tiles that have been programmed to do things. So in this case, the door here. And there's no, like, animation script I have to set up for the door. The door will just animate as it's opening because the game knows that it's a door by default. Which is interesting. I mean, the point there being that there's a lot of oddly hard-coded things in the game that you wouldn't think would be hard-coded, especially if you had, like, experience in RPG Maker or something like that, where a lot of the stuff you have to do manually. Like, a lot of stuff you would think that you'd be doing manually, because, like, the interfaces are reminiscent of each other. And it turns out, no, there's a lot of hard-coded stuff, and it's actually harder not to do the thing that it's supposed to do. So let's make ourselves a hot spring. I'm gonna make a little onsen. Oh, I forgot I was gonna put the sign there, wasn't I? Not the gym. There you go. Yeah. I mean, and this is like before hidden abilities, where stuff started going like really, really weird. So like, I always like run a Dragonite, right? Which is why like the starter in this game is a Dratini. Is like I'm just making a game for me, basically. I like it look better that way. Okay. So, like, there's stuff like multi-scale, or I'm sure Porygon has a bunch of crazy stuff attached to him. And then some of the newer Pokemon where it's like, you know, if it's a Tuesday afternoon or whatever, and you're holding the DS upside down, this Pokemon will evolve if it has this ability or something like that. It's just, they got really silly, especially around Gens 4 through 6 or something. Okay, what was I doing? Right now this guy's leading to Sculptor's Pokemon Center. If I go to 6... no. It's upstairs Pokemon Center. Or 7. Okay. Then make the map. Bank 4. So I'm trying to make it... So Sculptor is on 0-3. So Bank 0 should be overworld, and then every route in town should have its own bank. Start from... just use blank. Oh, wow. Okay, so, first off, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I say first off, and I immediately started thinking of, like, spouting off Tupac's Can't See Me or whatever, and I was like, okay, not the time or place. People don't come to the Pokemon dev stream for that. Now, in a traditional onsen, there's two options, right? There's a mixed gender option, and more commonly, there's a gendered option where you go through whatever... I mean, just give me a second, guys. Come on. Like, first off, I have to copy over the header here, right? So if I'm doing this proper, I need to use 794 for the bottom, and the top is going to be indoor. So there's only like 3 options for the top, and that's like, are you inside or outside? And the bottom, 794. Oh wow. Okay. Jeez, what happened? Yeah, okay. Let's okay, 704, 794. Just try to keep things the same. You know what? I think my headphones might be crap because this something sounds wrong with music, but I'm sure you guys are hearing it just fine. Is there not like a solid black square? I can't do proper solid black. Okay, whatever. Dark blue it is. Okay. So I'm guessing that the template, or the palette from the top section is defining the bottom section. Okay, this will be an interesting... No, we gotta put it down here. Oh, this place has to be bigger just to fit what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so let's call this the cross layer. And then this should be wall. This should also be wall. Man, why did they gotta put grass there? Oh, that's super annoying. Now I'm gonna have to like do this whole like, oh, we're this fancy indoor, outdoor environment. Sell the effect. Ah, crap. Undo. Always forget to put the right movement code on here. So here's the thing, having been to Disney World, not only is this conceivable, it is probably very easily achievable. Just as a, you know, this is a high-class facility or whatever, you know, fancy facility where we do all these indoor decorations with fake rocks, whatever. So, it's not out of the question. Oh, it's also put in that free script. That can't be right. Really? No. Here's a hidden item. Okay, yeah. But I thought this was, I thought the whole point of this was this was a healing tile. Does this not heal you in the game? I'm gonna put it in here under the assumption that it works the way I thought it did, but... Okay. This feels all kind of extra now. And once again, I forgot. This should be a cross layer. This should be a cross layer. This should be cross layer. Okay. Get out of the way. Alright. That makes sense. I mean, it can be a little bit. Once you're like set up doing something properly, you have to think about it less. But it's still important because then you have to think about things like bridges or something or cliffs where you want to be able to walk along one direction but not be able to cross vertically or horizontally or something because they're different elevations. Or it looks like you're just using a walkthrough wall as a glitch. Okay, so we're just using that part of it. Oh wait, over here. See, now that I have this down, I can just do this without too much frustration because I know everything I'm putting down is a wall, so it's no longer that big of an issue. I mean, I did that. So let's see if I can't. Like, how do I sell that this is the inside of a building? It's hard. It's hard to like tell people, yeah, you're inside of a building. This is what the inside of a building looks like. Where's the southbound exit? How about that? How do I exit any place from the south? Am I literally making a cave entrance for this place? That feels kind of silly. Yeah, screw it, whatever. That's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to be doing this for a little bit. No, these are not walls. This is elevation 3. No, it's cool. It's cool because this is content. This is content for the game. Now we have, all right. See, people asking for features, for me, is the opposite of a problem. Because if I'm implementing features that I like, or I think are cool ideas, and that people wanted to see in the game, that means people are actually engaging with the game that I am making, right? So this is fine. So if you guys have ideas for what should be in the game, and it doesn't conflict with my plans for what's in the game, like a hot spring inside of Sculptor, perfectly reasonable. High elevation, icy mountains with like a hot spring making it a livable environment, that makes perfect sense to me. Now, Okay, there's one little bit. They have a special tile just for that. Actually, this can move back over here. Oh, whoops. You know what? I was being silly. Oh, this has to be here because that's the tile that does that. I'm sure I can hide something interesting over here, like a hidden item or something like that. That's fine. Now, this is one of the problems with the hard coding in the game, is that this warp is not going to work. Because it's not the right kind of dirt underneath it. So I gotta go search for the right dirt. That's okay. Wall. So this should be elevation 3. Elevation 3. There's the Sonic Adventure soundtrack doing its job. It's being good. This looks like a semi-believable resort environment, I guess. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Oops. And all this, actually, to be consistent, should be elevation 4. Logically. Like, I don't need to do this, but if this is a cross layer, this is a cross layer, this is all elevation 4, and this is all elevation 3, then it makes sense. Okay, and now Sculptor has an onsen, but once again, I must search for the appropriate exit tile that the game will deem correct for leaving a map. So the fact that this map even has that exit here tells me that it must be possible. Hey, welcome to Stream Wheat Thins. There we go, we found it. Now we just have to blend. We were looking for we're just doing some map edits tonight, and someone decided that Sculptor, the ice town, should have an onsen, and I agreed. So now we're here. Now I have to blend this tile. Now, this is the part of game development where I say, do I just like leave it like this, and like people who are just like, oh, they'll appreciate this, and the entrance can just be whatever, or do I need to like actually really try to sell it? Because if I need to really try to sell it, what tiles can I put down? I forgot we need a couple of these. I'm sure these are just different animation speeds for a similar effect, so I'm just going to mix them up. Oh yeah, we talked about what I'm using. So yeah, Hex Maniac Advance. So the developer Haven is on his Discord. So if you guys are interested in doing Pokemon ROM hacks, that's the place to look. Okay, now blending. Let us figure out. Obviously, these tiles had. Oh, thanks for the follow, Beepins. So just so you know, normally I do Sega Saturn game development. So this is kind of a different thing for me to be doing than normal. So this is, I'm probably going to be on this project for like a year or so, or half a year. You know, I'm putting down all these tiles. I don't even know what the animations are going to look like. I don't know how good this effect is going to look. Really, this should be this, shouldn't it? Like, the only grassy looking one should be this one. I'm just saying, like, don't be disappointed if, like, a year from now or something, or even, like, on the new year, you find out that I'm not doing Pokemon anymore. Yeah. I mean, it's an enclosed indoor onsen. It's actually very humid. I mean, you know, Tokyo's back open again with how strong the American dollar is these days. Like, it's actually kind of cheap to go to Tokyo and hang out for a week or two. Onsens are fun. Why are these cross layers? They should be walls. Why are these cross layers? These should be walls. Game's screwing with me. Okay. So the one thing, like, this is actually kind of funny. I just remember this happening to me. The one thing you gotta look out for is there's something called an electric bath in the onsen. And me having the Japanese reading skills of an approximate like 3-year-old, I just kind of just tried it out and was like, okay, what is this thing? And it's exactly what it sounds like. You get into a bath, and they're running voltage across your body inside of that bath, and it's a cold bath. Or actually, no, that wasn't a cold one. Was it? It wasn't. No, it wasn't a cold one. It was like a normal bath, temperature bath. But anyway, so they're running like real voltage across your body, enough to cause you to lose complete control of your muscles. Like, you'll still have partial control if you willpower yourself through it, but like, it will cause you to spasm and clench and stuff. And this is not like super shallow water. This is like 3 feet deep or something like that. So there is like a moment jumping into that bath where I'm thinking like, hey, I don't have full control of my legs. I can't really use my arms effectively. If I, like, the next time the voltage comes on, I could drown. It was hilarious after the fact, but I'm wondering, like, how is this legal? That's really bothered me. I don't have a good blend for this. gotta be something. It's like, I'm not gonna put drill in here. What are you talking about? Could I have the player walk down into the sand? Is that an option? Huh. So, first problem. The room is just slightly too small for something like that. But, let's try this. Oh, no joke. Like if I did not have full control over my body, so like I could easily see Pacemaker like just being completely taken over. I could see someone dying from that, and I'm sure there's like the liability laws in Japan will protect the onsen because it's like, hey, everybody knows that's part of the onsen experience. Like what are you doing? Like if you're Japanese, you know. It seems like such a silly thing to like get caught off guard by. You know, a potentially life-threatening experience just going to effectively what should be like a touristy thing to do. Okay, where's the rest of these tiles? I need a bend. I need an L bend. Is this it? Why? Okay, let's go back over to the log bridge. How do they do it? The answer is they just don't. They just don't bother. They don't bother making the tiles to blend with that because it's just a hard stop. Okay. Well, if that's the case, fine. If that's how we're playing. Aha. Oh, that is just exactly off enough to bother me. How wrong is that? Yeah, that's pretty wrong, isn't it? Let's do this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oop. I don't know that that's a thing that happens, but it feels... Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. Why not? Wait, what am I doing? Why are these the wrong color? Elevation 4 pass. So the funny thing about tiles like this is that because this is warp capable, that means it's probably going to discolor, or not discolor. It's going to pop up like when you go over here and you face down. There's going to be an arrow on screen saying, "Hey, you can go down and you'll go to a different map." That's not context sensitive. Anytime you're facing down on that tile, it'll do that. So if you accidentally paint a whole map full of this tile and not this tile, every time you face down on that map, it's going to show you an arrow, which is really silly and distracting. Okay. When I get to the part of the game development where I actually want to start putting down hidden items, I'm going to there's going to be a handful in this room. Okay, where is the... So we're going to blend this with grass compatible. Where are we? Stairs. There's always stairs. Show me the stairs. Oh, you know what? We already have. perfectly usable stairs right here. No, here? That spacing is too tight for me. Doop. And then we're going to use this and this. Okay, the music just got really boring, because PSO. Oh, there we go, Ristar. Everyone loves Ristar. If you know about Ristar, you like Ristar. If you don't know about Ristar, go pick up a Sega Genesis. Go play Ristar. I'll wait. Here we go. And you know what? Let's maybe this is a good place for a decorative rock. Oh, now this is bothering me. So now I can't blend this properly. Yeah, it's a little weird, but I'll take it. And then decorative rock, but the decorative rock needs to be the right color. Let's do this. There, decorative rock. I mean, it's pointy, but that's like... I actually use that pointy rock a lot in my map. So I'm cool with it. It fits the setting. We're using that excuse. Okay, there we go. So, this is... wall. 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 That should be wall 2. See, I'm making everything pass through because I totally forgot the layer that I was working with. If there are, I totally forgot to look them up. There probably are. A lot of the times when I'm using HMA, I just end up doing stuff a slow, dumb way because I forgot. There's usually a better way to do it. But it doesn't matter because now the onsen is done and it doesn't look too bad. Wrong one. Wait. Nope. Okay. Gotta make sure. Oh, come on. Okay, so the onsen should be working now. So this is an indoor onsen, but we'll see how it looks. So the grass is there because oh, I gotta toggle the sound on this. So consider it like a fancy, well-kept indoor environment. Because, I'll tell you why in a second. Oh, I forgot I made it super annoying to go north on this. Wow! Rare drop. Okay. Not gonna take advantage of it. There we go. That's a more normal drop. That should be a wall. So let's fix that now that I remember that it's there. What happens? So we're in the Onsen. Oh wow, that background just got deep fried. So that's what I was talking about. I was trying to avoid that because here, that's a special tile showing you can go down. This guy is showing me I can go down, which is kind of dumb and redundant. I like the steamy. The steamy bits are working for me. The background is making this way worse. So I'm not seeing any healing effect, and I don't know that there's any. Let's here. Let's go over to. Oh, I gotta fix that. I can't actually. There's no tile for it. I forgot. There we go. Route 15. Let's save here. Okay. What's the deal with the border block? Okay. Maybe that one. Maybe that. Okay, just a sanity check. Yeah. Okay, and then so the reason why the grass is there is because the grass is here, and there's no getting around that. This one has the arrow coded into it. This one doesn't. So we're going to use this one over here, and over here. So this is what I am attempting to find out. Is does this script even do anything? So let's actually let's get into a cheeky little Pokemon fight. There we go. Come on. Another how Rovell is supposed to be like 5 or 10% on this map. Okay, that's enough. Oh wow, dick move. Oh boy, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to not do that at all if I could help it. What is the deal with these backgrounds? Now, Pokemon, still dead. I swear, I remember in Emerald that this pool healed you, but very clearly not doing it. The script doesn't look anything like a heal script, so that's our first clue. Let's there's got to be something here we can do. Here, let's just edit. Okay, let's do this. This goes over here. This goes over here. This goes over here. This goes over here. One of these guys should show up as basically black. And if not, I will find some tile and actually, here. Jeez, there you go. Problem should be solved there. No. So I'm. This is the script right here, which I assumed was like the hey, go over here if you want to hang out and chill. All it does, it calls some sort of step counter function or something like that. Increment hidden value number 49. If we go over and check out, now is this 49 hex or 49? There's a hidden value. Hidden value? Value? Let's see, it's 49 hex. 31. So let's see, is there anything lagged by 31? TV watch, unused, TM31. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, what is that? I mean, really, I could just script it, like, manually. I could just put it in myself. Here, let's just find 10 bytes of free space. Create new event script. Let's call this sauna. Ignore. That is one of the things that annoys me is when I try typing in here, it will be annoying about it. Sauna. Heal. Lavender Tower's in fire red. I mean, I'm sure there's just like a heal. Oh. Seriously? Restore? HP? Okay, time to go into the reference. Where are we at? Script reference. Over here. Want to use let's look for a healing. Set healing. Wow. That's it? That's all of them? You cannot tell me that there isn't some sort of macro or something for healing Pokemon. HP. Restore. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I mean, this is a completely optional effect, but come on. Okay. Let's try this way. Earth Joy. Honestly, is anyone going to miss this part? These extra 2 button presses. Does anyone care? If I just... Hey, yeah, you know you're at the Pokemon Center. We know what you do. Just let me... Just do what I ask you to do. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna drop that. I don't think anyone's gonna miss it. Okay, I'll take your Pokemon for a few seconds. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, call this. If yes, go to section 2. Increment a hidden value. Why? Okay. I don't even know what's 8004 doing. That's one of those temporary holding things. So I have to figure out what this does, but I don't want to. Special. Heal player party. Boom. Copy. That's... I don't know why that didn't pop up when I asked for, heal. Okay, let me just search for Sauna. Heal, that's... No, I made a script called Sauna Heal, unless it got auto-deleted. There we go. the hot water maxes. And I got a copy pastable thing over here. Let me see. Where's my scripts? So the thing about Pokemon is there's certain conventions I'm trying to, make it. I want this game to feel like an actual Pokemon game. And part of that is maintaining these conventions. Like whenever they say Pokemon, they don't just say Pokemon, they say Pokemon in all caps. Anytime there's a name, a move, a Pokemon species, anything, it's always all caps. So keeping with that convention. All right, let's try again. Okay, let's go get messed up. So the thing about HMA, at least the way I've been trying to use it, is that it didn't automatically give me a script area when I was making a new script, so I always end up having to find something. Come on, do it! Do it! Kill me now! There we go, come on. Thank you! Okay, and then let's get a little ding on Bagon. Okay, no, run. Run away. Run away. Thank you. Okay, so now the arrows are no longer there because I switched that, but the arrow is here because it's supposed to be. Steam area. Okay, I screwed something up. What did I screw up? Message box, default. Goes on key press? I mean, the trigger should make it so that it just works, right? Game froze. Message box default. This should be correct. Oh, yeah, that does happen, doesn't it? How about this? Trigger 1. Okay. Set flag. OX1. Okay, this time I'm actually going to save after I do my test damage. Do it, do it, do it, kill it. Yeah, whatever. Some damage is something. Hey! Ah. I forgot. And you know what? This is good for resettable behavior anyway. I have to... So this is not set flag. This is clear flag. This is like the dumbest thing ever. So, flags, these flags should be temporary, right? So this is, am I looking at these? Yeah, so this is flag 1, flag 2, these are temporary, these should be reset every time the map's loaded. Okay, great, fine, cool. set flag OX2, making it so that trigger 2 can load, and then trigger 2 can cause oh, I hear Emerald Jr. in the background making some noise. Set flag OX1, clear flag OX2. I forgot to do the thing I said to do, so I wouldn't have to do this again. Okay. Yep, okay, that's solid. Aw, oh, come on. I bet the elevation's wrong and everything. Alright. Let's actually save the state correctly. So let's... okay. So, two things. First off, this guy should be at elevation 3. This guy up here should be at elevation 4. 4. Okay, so when I load up the map, flag number 2 should be flipped on, and then that means when I trigger this guy by walking over number 002, it should be... Oh crap, I forgot. Triggers need to be variables. So, Emerald var. Okay. What's a temp var? So 4,000. So let's set 4,000, 4001. Set var 4001 to 1, and 4002 to 0. Hey, we need. Oh, what's going on? $4,002. Okay, so just to review, triggers require a variable in order to actually trigger. So we are setting this guy 4002 as our trigger for this guy that will then trigger this guy who is 4001. Hey Mariano, you've caught us at a bit of a conundrum here. So set var 1 0. So I'm trying to just program in a little healing gimmick. Okay. So I think I've done it correctly. This is Hex Maniac Advance. If you're interested, you should join the Discord where beta releases are regularly posted. And I'm doing a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald. So, if I have this... Come on! Oh, okay. The trigger is wrong. Trigger is 4001. So trigger 4001 should be set to 0. Then why? If the trigger is set to 0, is that not how we make sure that it's, or is it 1? Does setting the trigger deactivates it? Okay. So it only triggers when the trigger variable is 0. In which case, I need to reverse the logic of what I've just done. This is a less than intuitive method of doing what I thought that the game should be doing, but I keep forgetting. I mean, honestly, the triggers should be flags, right? Like, am I crazy for thinking triggers should be temp flags? It really feels like they should be. Okay, I need to put some naked people in this. No, so that's what I'm doing. So this tile right here sets a flag so that the trigger has been set. Now I don't need to heal multiple times. Then I step out of the water, and the temporary variable has been reset. So I step back in. There you go. Yeah, so it's working. All right. So the Sculptor Onsen is open for business. Now let's actually put some people in it to make it look like it's worth going to. So the thing about Sculptor is that the towns of... let me pull the map back up. The towns of Pisces, Sculptor, and Horologium are occupied by Team Aqua. So anywhere you go, any popular place of business or something, there should be a Team Aqua presence. Similarly, Phoenix, Scorpius, and Mensa have a Team Magma presence. Nope. Oh, crap. Why didn't I check? You're right. I should have checked. Because I'm using a special, and I've never used it before, so I really should make sure that it's doing what I think it is. Okay, so Ite, the Tritini, is... got 27 health left. There we go. As intended. There we go. Are you serious? Okay, fine. Okay. Ite has 14 PP. I'm ready to get into the hot water to make his PP bigger. There you go. See? PP's bigger. PP bigger in hot water. Everything's working. I appreciate you hanging out for so long in the stream of the game. So, I wasn't really planning on making the Onsen the whole stream. Oh, thanks for the follow, too. I think now I'm going to move on to Route 18. And hopefully also maybe add in Mensa or something. Yeah. This is... I hope I've... It's good that you guys remind me. So this is... this should be an indoor environment. Town. Indoor. Don't allow running. Don't allow biking. Don't show the aim. Don't allow escaping either. So, the way in and out of the pool, you should not be able to fly here. So escaping, I think, includes digging and flying. I don't know. If it's indoor, I'm pretty sure you can't fly. This is really bothering me now. I want a better tile for this. Is this it? Is this the better tile? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do that. But no, everything looks like it's working perfectly fine in the onsen. So let's put some aqua girls in the pool. Okay. Let's not put some special sprites in there because it's gonna confuse some people, especially if they come up later. I think that was Flannery. There's Red and Leaf. They got Red and Leaf. They got, I forget his name already. What's his face in May? No gold. No gold and no silver. Also, the headbands are different, aren't they? Like this guy, he's got the red headband. And in Emerald, you have the gold or the green headband. Interesting. Okay, so where's the people in the bathing suits? Would this fit? This person, like, swimming here? Like, you don't use a bathing cap in an onsen. So this person... Oh, yeah. I have, so here's the thing, like, Nintendo, I would probably put more Nintendo tracks in my streaming background if Nintendo didn't sue everyone that breathed, you know? So, like, Sega, they're cool with everything. So I have Ristar, I've got Phantasy Star, I've got, Sonic in the background. I think I got, like, one or two other things mixed in there, but it's mostly, like, Hedgehog themed, you know? So Yeah, yeah. It's like what I usually add game soundtracks that I like, but the problem is if I add, let's say, I mean, Persona is nice, or some Final Fantasy stuff or whatever. I don't know how safe I am. If I do Sega stuff, I know they're not gonna bother because they're cool. Okay. Let's get some implicit old man dong. Nope. Yeah, but I mean, I've had a hard enough time with some stuff I really should not have had a hard time at all with. Like, I had some guy try to claim that he owned the Mortal Kombat soundtrack, right? Like I was literally streaming Mortal Kombat 1, like, on the Genesis. And it had some, like, guy from Lithuania or something claim he owned it because he had, like, some sort of remix or something with that sampled the song. So, like, every time something like that happens, it just kind of tells me, like, that, like, it's always a headache to deal with, right? I've had to dispute claims for Sonic the Hedgehog's Green Hill Zone, and I probably will because I think it played once on this stream, where, again, some guy from Eastern Europe, like Soviet bloc type country, says, hey, I own the rights to that song. Is like, dude, you're not even Sega. You're not even close to Sega. And every time I dispute it, they back down, but it's always a headache having to save my own YouTube channel. Because, you know, 3 strikes are out. There's a little freestanding sign I can put up. This one's on grass, though. I don't want grass. There's too much grass already. If I put this here, that doesn't look anything like a sign, does it? There's all this crap. I mean, I don't really need a sign. Yeah, this is good. God, I spent 2 hours making a freaking sauna. Let's see. Wow, she's just face down in it. Hey, you. Hey, you. Why are you moving around? No one gave you permission to move. Now, when I say face down, I mean, like, actually face down. Like, I don't want him to actually move. No movement? Will that lock him down? I'll just try face down and see what happens. Yeah, that looks right. That doesn't. Here, let's move him up, and these guys can move up similarly. There. So now he can only face down or right, and it'll look fine. Anyone else I can drop in here? Just kind of populate the area a bit. Should Pokemon be in the sauna too? Should have a guy in his Vaporeon just chilling out? I can't tell if these are supposed to be like dolls or actual Pokemon or something. They just look slightly off. Yeah, I think I'll skip the Pokemon for now and just get another Team Aqua member in here. Okay. That was a fun detour, but I think now it's time to get back to what I was originally planning on doing. Okay, let's freehand some of this. Route 18. I'm thinking, how maze-like do I want to make this? So like this area over here, I'm gonna rope off this area. This area over here, special area. I need to set up a little puzzle there, so the player can hug this area up here for a bit. Um, and then I'm thinking... And then we'll enter Muska from the southeast, so we'll let this kind of happen. And then I'm going to keep it kind of a flat elevation. This should be like a dense, foresty type deal. And then we got to spot in some trees here, especially when this kind of stuff is happening. And we'll clean it up in a minute. Not really rocky, just a lot of trees. Happy little trees. Why is... Oh, I forgot. I still needed to come to a conclusion on what kind of map header I wanted to use. I'm not a fan of that color palette. Now, presumably, if I go to the Petalburg Woods, this is what woods look like in Emerald. But this is... It looks so boring and flat, you know? Like I want something a little bit different. I don't think Viridian is any better, is it? Yeah, that's basically the same, just with a nicer looking tree. Okay, fine. We'll use the header 734. Seriously? I mean, this forest is so generic. They can just reuse headers from a city. I'll use this as like a quick preview type tile. That's a good start. 7C4 looks like it's on theme. I kind of like this, but not super useful. Ooh. Okay, that was just a one-off. It's all built. It's a freaking Snakens or whatever, I forget. I think we're in the Battle Frontier tiles. I like flowers. The flowers are good. That's a Pokemon Center. A cave. That was like a Reggie cave. There's the Ristar soundtrack. This looks really nice for the Undone Dungeon, so I'll keep that in my pocket for later. This is too many potted plants. It should be potted. It should be like a wild... This is like where all the insects are going to be spawning in. So far, 7C4 is like the only winner. That is an interesting looking cave, but it is a cave I do not need. This is very interesting, but half of these pallets are just corrupted. This map is outdoor, normal. Let's see. Normal shade weather, okay, and Petalburg Woods. Let's keep that in mind. So let's edit the map header for that. Okay, as soon as I find the music I'm looking for, I'm changing this. Yeah. I'm looking for the music here, but I'm also upset with the music on the stream right now. I want to get rid of it. In fact, I'm so upset, I'm just gonna go do that now. Oh, for once, it's not PSU being a downer, it's Sonic and the Black Knight. Nope. Okay, that'll do. Also broken. Like, is this like a whole block, like, broken for my purposes? Because that's the truck. Oh, that's right, I was looking for Petalburg Woods music. Here we go. I'm just gonna have to stick to 7C4 because it doesn't have... This is underwater. Okay, let's go back to 7C4, but back before that. Oh wow, that was already at the beginning. But 7C4, not 74C. Yeah, this is the closest I'm gonna get. So let's go see what tiles I have to work with. Now, what part of the game is this even from? It's over up here a bit, right? Why is this tile different? Let's see. Ah, okay. It's entirely optional. Dang it. Yeah. Hey Trevo, I'm still working on Pokemon Emerald Nova. So we had a little bit more activity earlier on the stream. I think some people from the HMA Discord popped in. So right now I'm just kind of setting up, so this area will be relevant later on in the game, but I need to know where it is so I can map around it. Okay. Just kind of freehanding here. Visual Basic? I've used actual Basic before. Not so much Visual Basic, I don't think. Visual Basic for games? I mean, I know I probably even have a book in my library about making games in Visual Basic. It just, without like a proper tool chain to actually display stuff, it feels kind of needlessly complicated to do something like that. Because if you like are buying into the Microsoft ecosystem and stuff, and you're like really want to make a game on Windows, there's like there was XMA, which I forget what it's called now, but it's basically what they used to use to make Xbox games or something. Yeah, I forget where I was going with this, but I distinctly remember better options like Game Maker or something like that. Okay, let's try to freehand a... Yeah, yeah. When I was, I mean, you saw the thread, right? Where on Sega Extreme, I was talking about this kind of stuff. When I was younger, I was doing like web pages and stuff like that. That's kind of how I pick stuff up. How am I gonna do this? Oh, yeah, but don't worry about it. Yeah, so like I recently, it's not like an epiphany, but it's more like kind of like a transitional thing in my head where it's like I don't like any of the social media I've been using. And then like kind of like in quick succession, like Facebook has been slowly declining for me for a while. And then this stuff with the Reddit API where like the effects aren't there now, but you can tell that the site is about to get a lot crappier than it already is, and I already hate the Reddit community. And then it's just going to get like worse and worse. And then you see what's going on with Twitter, where after the buyout, the lack of moderation just makes it kind of basically a cesspool, right? So I've like tried to transition away from using any of those sites. So I have an RSS feed for like news, and then I kind of use Sega Extreme as like my homepage. I mean, social media's always been divisive, but like it just feels worse. Yeah. Yeah, Wheatons has it on the nose. Like, everything seems to, like, that... It's not like they're collaborating to make everything worse. It's like a natural effect of certain market pressures, where things just get worse because there's no alternative, right? Like, there's no response to, okay, you don't like Facebook anymore. What are you going to do? Not use Facebook for a long time? That wasn't the answer. You were going to keep using Facebook. Yeah, so... Yeah. Honestly, the only answer that I could come up for, like, how to... how to like respond to all these services getting progressively worse is to just opt out. So stop using it. Sega Extreme is the only online community that I both engage in regularly and actually enjoy. So here I am, making games and posting on Sega Extreme. I'm not aware of Blue Sky. You have to explain it to me. What is Blue Sky? So like, the whole reason I made that thread on Sega Extreme, and for those of you not part of the, like, there's a lot of people here, if you're like idling or like popping in and out, that are from like the HMA server. Like, Sega Extreme is like the community I regularly participate with, and like, when I make games, it's usually for the Sega Saturn. I'm usually communicating with the other Saturn devs on Sega Extreme. I made a post on there just describing my lack of enthusiasm with the current direction of the internet, and kind of like my appreciation for the fact that Sega Extreme as a community is a functional online community, which is not a given anymore. Yeah, I keep so I've been pushing Dibs, like needling him over and over again. Please give us a Sega Extreme Mastodon server. I want a Twitter-like interface to push updates. I want to be able to say like, okay, subscribe to this Mastodon, and you'll know when I'm streaming or when I'm doing something or when I make a post that I think people might be interested in reading. He'll eventually get around to it, I hope, but. I'm just kind of like waiting for him to like pull the trigger on it and actually make it. I kind of like I like the Twitter interface for like a one-directional communication. As a social media site, it's obviously it's terrible because that's not its strength. Its strength is one-directional communication. It's, hey, I'm posting an update. If you're interested in me. If you're interested in the kind of stuff I do, you can go look at that update. And that's the kind of thing I would use Twitter for, and that I like Twitter for. But I mean, yeah, at this point, I just don't even like Twitter at all. Now, I want to make this puzzle annoying. How do I do that? Oh, I don't think it doesn't really do much with the track's metadata, and most of these tracks are ripped in a way that doesn't have the correct metadata. So if you have a question about a certain track, you'll have to timestamp it and ask about it later, and I'll do my best to dig up where it's from. I have, like, it's all Sonic music. I know exactly where every game this comes from. So, honestly, early 2000s internet is, I think, an ideal we should achieve, or strive to re-achieve and get back if we can. I don't know that it's practical or possible or whatever, but I feel like going back to like having like, even so, like, it's kind of like sacrilegious to say it, but like maybe Google and is part of the centralization problem that we need to get rid of. Maybe, I mean, Google's search results are already crap, right? Like, SEO has just turned it into a thing where if you're not going to one of the main websites of the internet, you're just not going to get anything useful out of it. Oh, I know. Oh, I'm gonna make it super crappy. You'll think you've made it, but you haven't. So yeah, that's kind of like the main problem with Reddit. right now is Reddit is specifically making it it's making it harder for people to utilize the site outside of the designated ecosystem they want to prescribe to you. And there's a couple problems with that. The first is moderation. The default tools that Reddit provides are just garbage. So if you're moderating a large community, which, I mean, why? It's stupid to do that kind of unpaid labor consistently, but whatever. Reddit mods are a whole special breed of stupid, but whatever. If you're in that situation where you're trying to moderate that kind of community, it becomes much harder. And when you scale the problem up to hundreds of people, it's a serious problem. Because then you can easily have people posting like illegal content I'm not allowed to talk about on Twitch, or other stuff. Illegal downloads, just like shock images that will go against the TOS and get your community taken down by the admins who may or may not feel like doing the requisite amount of homework. So it's going to be very easy for trolls to ruin the so-called Reddit experience for a lot of people. And I'm surprised that hasn't been part of the protest effort to do something like that already. So DuckDuckGo is there as a first pass for, this is my protest search against Google, and this is going to be my default. But if I'm really having a hard time trying to find something, I'm just going to go !GE to go for Google Encrypted, and at least make an attempt at having a semi-private search. Yeah, to go back to my, unsolicited rant regarding Reddit, the fact that so many people are doing like, search Reddit for, this specific problem, yada, 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 whatever. Reddit is going to make it so that you can only participate in Reddit, or you can only access Reddit from their prescribed ecosystem. And so anything that's not front page and you don't want to make an account for, you don't trust Reddit with your privacy or with your information or whatever, which is 100% perfectly fair. No one should trust Reddit with anything. It's going to be marked not safe for work or not accessible or something like that. You have to make an account. No option, no choice. So have fun with that. So that means people are just going to have to make a whole bunch of dummy accounts, which will probably help them with their IPO value seeking to inflate the number of required accounts, just to do basic stuff like, hey, I have a Samsung Q80T and it's doing this weird effect. How do I turn off screen tearing, blah, 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 whatever, motion blur stuff. So there's absolutely no way, whatever the valuation of the IPO is, I think it was like 10 billion marked down to 7 billion by the moneymaker or the market maker or whatever. There's no way that they're going to maintain their valuation. So the way I'm thinking of it is like Twitter's a special case, right? That was Elon Musk trying to do like a meme and accidentally putting it, or not accidentally, like he put it down on paper thinking, oh, I'll just weasel my way out of it. Turns out, with the Delaware court system, can't do that. So he ended up out of pocket way more money than anyone ever had any business paying for that freaking website. But Reddit IPO, right? Honestly, let's try to do something similar. Meta stock price. Oh wow, they did pretty good. What about MySpace? Did they even have a stock? I don't think they did. So you know what? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe the Reddit going public will actually be profitable for them for more than 1 year or 2 years. But I guarantee you that no matter what happens to the price, I'm assuming it's going to go down based off of the lack of usability on the website, with it degrading. But let's just say it doesn't. Let's just say they maintain their profitability by selling user information even harder than they already have. I am very confident that the majority shareholders participating in the IPO will have above board, well planned out, diversified, sell out all their stock on a schedule so that they can have more diverse holdings. And by the time that Reddit actually does experience some form of crash, it won't affect them at all. Or at least if it does, it won't be serious. Which is another kind of funny thing with Elon Musk, which is like he's accidentally rich in a way that it boggles mind considering how bad he has been with money. Where he doesn't diversify his holdings. He doesn't, he has a bunch of his value is tied up in like Tesla or something like that. And you have people like Buffett and Bezos, stuff like that. They're like doing a much better job at insulating themselves from any potential downfall from their company. I'm sure if Meta went under tomorrow, Mark Zuckerberg would be fine. But Elon Musk can tweet something one day and end up severely affecting his net worth, kind of like Kanye West, except not quite as on a different kind of completely different scale. I watched a Mutahar video that almost convinced me to give Linux another try again, but the problem is every time I try Linux, I tried Mint Cinnamon or whatever. Every time I try it, I end up running into a very specific problem. I use GOG a lot, my entire game library, the majority of it is on GOG, and every time I seek advice, I get 3 different flavors of advice from 2 different people. And I end up breaking something even worse than when I started out doing it, and I don't even get basic functionality. Like, if I have 2 hard drives, for some reason, half the time, second hard drive doesn't even boot. Something like that. So I tried taking my old junker laptop and installing Cinnamon on it, and it did not turn out well. So I've kind of temporarily given up on being a proper computer person that knows Linux and stuff, but that's just up until I eventually figure out how to actually use Linux properly. And that'll eventually happen at some point. Because again, I was watching this Mutahar video and he was making it seem like, oh yeah, if someone like this guy can figure it out, why shouldn't I be able to? Can't you use HMA with whatchamacallit? Wine? Wouldn't it be compatible with Wine? No one's been vocal about success. Oh wow, it's that's an odd way of stating that. Yeah, this thing doesn't work. It's kind of funny the way he says it. Uh, yeah. So again, this kind of goes back to like I was watching this Moodor video. Is like, yeah, basically the only thing I use Windows for is what is that? It's like a popular Spec Ops type game, or it's not Spec Ops. It's Rainbow Siege. Yeah, the Rainbow Siege. Like that's like he says that's the only thing he uses it for, and he found solutions for everything else, but it still comes off as being like a massive headache. Win 10's been great. Like, I know people don't like Windows for good and obvious reasons, but sometimes like a release like Windows 7 or XP or 10 just work so well that you're just happy with it. And you don't need to change anything. See, I have had a crappy old computer that I'd slap Ubuntu onto, but honestly, I've never had a computer so crappy that I couldn't just customize a version of Windows that would just run. I used to have a laptop that was probably like 10 years old or something like that, and it was just so old that things were just starting to break down. And after a certain point, the screen was dead. So what I did is I just snapped the screen off, used it as like a desktop computer, used a VGA cable to hook it into an old CRT monitor, and I used that to play Oblivion. So like, it was a real piece of crap. It was like an HP, and the HPs have like terrible thermal management. They have like their heat sinks just, I don't know what they make them out of, but it's certainly not good enough. But it worked. I was happy with it. Until I finally got rid of it when I got like a real laptop. No, I like Trainoco. Yeah, I've hung out with him. Like I've been to his house. I stayed over a couple times. Cause I mean, I think one time was just a visit or something like that, or just to like hang out. I forget what it was. Last time I went was when I was buying my car last year, and this was like the car market was just completely like shot the bed. Like you couldn't find a used car to save your life. And like in some states, you could actually have like people trying to sell you a car at like a $10,000 markup, like a used car selling at MSRP plus a dealer fee, which complete pull for like plus several thousand. Anyway, that's besides the point. I finally found the electric vehicle that I was trying to buy in near where Trino was staying, or where Trino lives. So what I did is I hit him up and say, hey, can I, crash at your couch? We'll hang out. We'll like watch the movies or something and hang out. And then the next morning, I'll go buy my car and I'll drive back to New Mexico. And that's exactly what I did. It was pretty cool. We hung out. His roommate's cool. He's cool. I mean, he's exactly like he is on the stream. Like, it's not like a persona or anything. Like, he's just a cool guy. Oh yeah, we went to a convention together. It was like a small little convention, compared to what I'm used to. Like MegaCon, I'm used to MegaCon, and he was doing a panel for his other podcast, the Spirit Hunters, were like the mangaka that does Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. So he has a bunch of people that he hangs out with and talks about that guy with. So yeah, we went to that convention together. We just kind of hung out. Fun time. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go back to that specific convention again because, like, I thought, I'm not really big into anime, but I'd hang out with him again, definitely. It'd be harder with a kid, though. Dude, I want to go hang out with Dave. I really want to hang out with Panda. So like, Panda and I have been like talking DMs a little bit for about like some. He's gonna be putting out a video at some point. I'm sure he's gonna mention me when he puts it out. It's gonna be a really good video. But I kind of like did him a small favor, making some connections or whatever like that, and I told him, hey, you owe me like wings at whatever town we meet up in next. So like I'm holding him to that. I want to get some hot wings with Pandemonium, and if we can make a vlog or something out of it, I'm totally down for it. Boy, the Phantasy Star 3 soundtrack is just difficult to listen to. So Wheat Thins, again, this like kind of comes down to like this is two different communities kind of hanging out in this chat. Again, I'm a Sega Extreme guy, so I'm normally doing Saturn stuff, and adjacent to Sega Extreme is Sega Saturn Shiro, or the Shiro Media Network, and it's like a new show slash community that mostly does like Sega Saturn stuff. And so I think it's like ShiroMediaGroup.com or something like that. So they got a weekly show, and occasionally I'll pop on to hang out and say hi and whatever. But like, so there's like Saturn people that know me, that for which doing Pokemon, Nintendo stuff is a departure. But of course, I've been hanging out a little bit in the HMA Discord, getting help making this game. And so like the people that are coming in from that segment may not know much about what I'm talking about when I talk about like Sega Saturn stuff. And I'll just draw the path first and I'll clean it up later. Neither did I. Like, I got my first Sega Saturn. I was very close to being done with high school and stuff. So I was like, oops. So the Sega Saturn is still kind of new to me in that I don't really, like, I don't engage the library of it that much either. Like, I don't, there's not a lot of games on the Sega Saturn I enjoy, because I like longer form, story-based formats and RPGs and longer adventure games and stuff, and the Saturn is like 90% arcade and stuff you have to translate or import. So for me, the Sega Saturn is kind of like, I started developing on it because my artistic skills are in line with the graphical fidelity of the Sega Saturn. But as far as how much do I enjoy the Sega Saturn, I enjoy the Dreamcast is probably my favorite console. I grew up on the Sega Genesis and then I went straight to Dreamcast. But I don't have a particular fascination or personal connection to the Sega Saturn. My personal connection to the Sega Saturn is the fact that I try to make games for it. And if you go to emeraldnova.com, you see how successful or unsuccessful I've been. I'll let you be the judge of that. But it basically, the Sega Saturn is less of a nostalgic console for me and more of a artistic medium, if you will. Yeah. So the era's look is like the primary reason why I even engage with the Saturn. Specifically, now I talk a whole bunch of crap about Final Fantasy VII because I think it's mediocre and overrated, and it kind of like was a big step back in a lot of ways from the previous games in the franchise. But the artistic look of the enemies within the battle system specifically is something that directly appeals to me, and it's like the main reason why I'd be willing to play the game again. Because I just like the way it looks. Sprites in the overworld, not so much, but the just the aesthetic of that battle system. And I've been kind of looking for like the Saturn alternative to it, and it doesn't exist. Okay, that's not completely true, because like Shining Force 3 and stuff like that will have similar looking sprites and whatever, but it's not quite the same experience for me. Like, I'm looking for something like what's it called, Breath of Fire 3 or something like that, where it just kind of looks like that. So I've always been a Pokemon player. Like, I think the first video game that I probably played might have been either Sonic 2 or 3. I forget exactly which. I think it was 3. But I think the first game I owned was Red and Blue, simultaneously. My parents didn't know any better, but they knew Pokemon was big with kids. And so, like, when it came out, I was the exact right age to get into it. I got a copy of Red and Blue, and then later I got a Game Boy. So I was just like sitting there reading the manual, waiting for a chance to actually play the game that everyone around me was already playing. And then my favorite Pokemon would be Gold, because that's when I feel like they refined a lot of stuff. They cleaned up a lot of the mechanics that weren't working, especially the massive balance issues that Red and Blue had. But I think I kind of fell off with Gen 3 and most of Pokemon for a while because of the lack of continuity. I couldn't bring over my Pokemon. Eventually, my Pokemon Gold cartridge battery died, so I lost all my originals. And that's where I transferred everyone, which is the worst part, because I had like a Mew and stuff that I earned, and it's gone with that battery. I recently modded my original Pokemon Gold to have a swappable battery, and I'm going through the games again, kind of like slowly, to play Pokemon Stadium properly, and actually get like a living Dex in Gen 1 and 2, and store it on my EverDrive so that I can copy it off of the SD card and never have to worry about losing my entire collection again. For Emerald, what brought me specifically to Emerald, first off, Gen 3 has very mature ROM hacking tools, because you see me using it. Yeah, this is remarkably good compared to what I'm used to having to deal with. So, like, if you know anything about the state of Saturn homebrew, compared to many other consoles, it is very good. But there's nothing like this. There's no pre-built engine with everything like ready to go. So like it's nice to have a tool that you can just pick up and make a game and just hit the ground running. Even if it's like, it's Pokemon, so like that's all you can do is make Pokemon, but I like Pokemon, so no complaints. It's a happy coincidence that my pseudonym is Emerald, in that I can just simply call my game the Emerald Nova version, and it makes sense to people. So I honestly couldn't think of a better name, so I just made it Emerald Nova version. It made it very easy for me to edit the title sequence. So, there is a bit, at least I have to speak from the perspective of someone in the Saturn community. There is a bit of a renaissance with the Saturn going on. Saturn games are getting re-released, like Panzer Dragoon Saga. I won't speak to the quality of that re-release, but it exists, and people are buying it. There is renewed interest in many of those games. The collector's value is skyrocketing, does not seem to be coming back down. I'm sure other consoles are experiencing something similar, but as far as I can tell, there's something especially big going on with Saturn as of the last couple of years. It's kind of zen, just editing these maps. Very simple work to do. And that's kind of like the part of game, like for the past, ever since 2019, I've been doing games on Saturn, but I've been doing the hard parts. I've been doing physics engines. I've been doing baseline game development. What are the mechanical statistics of what I'm trying to do here? What's the actual plan for how the game is going to feel, how it's going to run, what are the controls? It's nice to not have to think about certain things and just like get down to the game development part of the game where I'm like, I'm making a map, I'm thinking about what the encounters look like, that kind of stuff. So this is like a nice change of pace. This is a lot easier than figuring out how to make a convincing flight simulator that both feels good but also controls in a way that makes sense. I still feel like the controls in Blue Skies and the physics of it could use some work. But I'm also not active on that project, and I'm considering it like I'm kind of more or less washing my hands of it. Multiple other coders are taking it up, so I'm happy for them to pick up where I kind of ghosted and dropped off. Oh, there's multiple ODs on the side. Here, let me pop over to the restroom real quick. I gotta go bathroom real quick. Give me one minute, and I'll go over the whole thing about the Saturn scene. Okay. Well, I'm back. I'm not going to get started on my rant about the current state of Saturn until Weekends comes back, because he's the one that actually wanted to hear what I have to say about it. But I have information. I also have opinions. And if I get started, I'm probably not going to stop for a little bit, so I'll wait. No. I need something to talk about, because I'm just like, what are we going to talk about here? Here, I'm going to put down another grass tile. No, we need topics of conversation. Feel free to ask questions about whatever. Like, this is like 50% just chatting while I'm just putting down flowers and map tiles and stuff. I'm just going to polka dot randomly. Actually, flowers should not be on the path, so... Hello. See a few little happy little accidents with these happy little trees there. So, current state of Saturn ODEs and hardware. For the longest time, your only option was going to a guy named Dunin who sells the GDMU and the Phoebe and the Rhea. Now, Phoebe and the Rhea were perfectly fine. Weird thing about them is that they require you to get images in this really old, antiquated file format, CCD, that's like proprietary, and you can do it, but it's designed to work with a very specific kind of software, so like it's doable, but a lot of the times you end up having to convert an entire library, and it's a non-trivial amount of time if you don't know a good script to do it. Now, my problem with Donan is that he's incredibly difficult to work with. He's been known to be finicky about maintaining orders from customers in a way that is reliable, or he'll open up a order window at like a very inconvenient time, I think in Polish time or something like that, and he won't like limit customers or anything like that. He'll just let you buy whatever. Maybe like once per window, but he's got these weird simps that like are diehard. I'm not allowed to say that word on Twitch. I forgot. He's got these weirdos that are like diehard fans of his hardware, doing it, and they have people literally buying like multiple revisions of the same thing with more or less the same functionality, which is unfortunate for literally everyone else trying to get the hardware. Because that means you're not getting that hardware, because the order quantity, he's making all these by hand. He's not like scaling up production or anything like that. Effectively, what you're signing up for is waiting until like 3 or 4 a.m. for an order window that might close after an hour, because he's got like maybe 50 or 100 units, and he's got like 10 or 20 guys that really, really love getting every copy of that hardware. And then they resell on eBay for a stupid amount of money. So, oh crap. Why is this elevation 4? Great. I go back over these all again. So, what I don't like about the guy is the difficult ordering process, and he has a history of being pretty rude to customers, just asking questions. I've heard rumors of him canceling orders. He was particularly rude to me when I was trying to ask questions. So I specifically don't buy any of his products, and that includes the GDMU and his ODEs for the Saturn, the Phoebe and the Rhea. I do not advocate buying clones, though. So he got his GDMU cloned by the Chinese around the same time that USB GD-ROM by a different guy, like I think a Russian guy, had a thing with his firmware where he was putting a time bomb in his firmware. So that kind of justified to me that little thing. So if you go look up USB GD-ROM, there's a lot of people upset that he put a time bomb for a few months in his firmware, and this but somehow that was like the thing that protected his hardware from the Chinese, which cloned the GDMU, which did not have that time bomb, but was extremely difficult to order, just like everything else Danon sells. Effectively, what ends up happening is that you can go get a $50 GDMU clone with an out-of-date firmware that still, I believe, has issues with Code Veronica and Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia being one of the greatest RPGs ever made, so like that a game-breaking bug there means it's basically unusable for me. What I ended up doing, I ended up getting a USB GD-ROM. And a lot of people, whenever I advocate for the guy, a lot of people will get upset because he's in Russia, he has to like navigate around the whole situation he's in. So he'll ask for cryptocurrency during sometimes. You can ask him not to take cryptocurrency, but that's his preference because of current political situations in that part of the world. He will kind of make fun of the competition sometimes because he's like ornery, but he always, he doesn't cancel orders. He gets you what you ask for, and the hardware works, and it maintained the highest compatibility with the Dreamcast up until GDMU finally caught up, and I think they're both perfect on the official official releases. That all have perfect compatibility now. I think the GDMU is caught up. Because it used to have, like I mentioned, that problem with Resident Evil and with that Skies of Arcadia, and I don't know that that's still the case now with the latest firmware. So, going back to the Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn, for the longest time, that was it. That was your option. It was either that or Pseudo Saturn Kai, which was a flashed action replay card that you put in the cartridge slot, which allowed you to boot up games off of the disc. So, in 2019, the beta for Professor Abrasive's Satiator came out. The Sega Saturn Satiator, or Satiator, or however you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it Satiator. I don't know why. That's just what I do. So that came out, and that was that I actually participated in the beta test for that. So I was like a full level Kickstarter / Patreon / whatever you want to call it funder for that project, and I still have my I use it like weekly, my beta Satiator cartridge. It's unique in that instead of having the black outline or the black casing, it has a white opaque casing as a black as opposed to a black translucent casing. People got upset with Professor Abrasive because of how long he was taking to make. Like he probably, I think he went over schedule by like a half a year or something like that, compared to what people were expecting, because he had interviews about utilizing that about utilizing the CD block and making a new Saturn ODE, and people were getting super excited about it and whatever. So yeah, people will get upset about basically anything, but they're upset about it's probably the most expensive ODE on the market, I think. And also that he was taking so long to develop it that they were thinking it was like a scam because people were on their Patreon, or his Patreon, like I was, helping support the project while he was developing it. Obviously it came out. It works fantastic. I think the number one thing, ODEs that Sega Extreme regulars tend to recommend is either the Fenrir, which was made by Ced, I think he's a French guy, that came out roughly at the same time, which is basically the same functionality and the same kind of setup as the Phoebe and the Rhea, except it takes modern disk image formats. And the Satiator, those are like the top two options. And then there's also the mode. And the mode, for some reason, I cannot understand the thinking behind this. It is an ODE that handles PlayStation, Dreamcast, and the Sega Saturn. And I guess the selling point is that you can just yank it out of your Saturn and plug it in your Dreamcast or plug it in your PlayStation. And I'm just wondering, why in God's name would you want to yank out an ODE that you've just installed? Get a separate ODE. But anyway, that the mode is like the third option by Terra Onion mode, and again Terra Onion. So, and that's like the three main modern options that are available for purchase that you can regularly get: the Fenrir, Sadiator, and the mode. Now, the issue with the mode is that Terra Onion had this guy. I don't know if he still works for them, but I think he's still like the owner of the company, but they just took him off of Twitter or something like that. But he was kind of a dick. So when Russia invaded Ukraine, Crix, the guy that does EverDrive, so he has the flash cards for basically anything that takes a cartridge: Sega, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, NES, whatever. He makes flashcards for that. Crix with like 3 Ks. Figure out how to spell it. 3 Ks and a Z. So he was like, Crix has like 3 kids, and he was helping his family escape from Ukraine while the invasion was happening, like the beginning part of the invasion, like February. And then this guy from Terra Onion, I forget his name, I think it's like Alex or something. He comes in and he starts, making fun of him for escaping instead of joining the military with his family to fight the Russians. And then once he's finally out and safe, and I think he went to like one of those micronations or Spain or something like that, or Andorra, I forget what. And then he's accusing him of fleeing to a tax shelter and milking the situation for money. Never mind the fact that Terra Onion itself is based in a tax haven micronation in Europe that does exactly what he's accusing Crix of doing. So a lot of people got angry at, I believe, Alex of Terra Onion for that. And I don't know how many of us have forgotten about it, but we've all already invested in our ODEs enough where we know what works. And the mode is just such a weird, wacky way of approaching hardware run by a company that not all of us really trust or appreciate because of the way that they treat other hardware developers. Sed is a member of the community. Abrasive is a member of the community. We can talk to them. They're cool guys. Terra Onion, we know people from there, but the behavior of the people higher up in that company kind of made people uncomfortable, combined with the fact that like their solutions aren't necessarily any better or even as good as the other solutions that are available. So anyway, that's my long spiel about the. I guess you knew like half of that, or most of it, but that's my long spiel about the state of Saturn ODE and how that's been working out. So I have a Sadiator. I haven't bothered with a Fenrir, but if I was getting a new system, I think for the sake of completeness, because the Sadiator goes in the VCD slot, I might get a Fenrir and a Japanese VCD card to allow me to play the MPEG games. But I'm perfectly happy with the Sadiator and the fan hacks. So the Sega Extreme community has been, especially after the last 3 or 4 years, exploding with a bunch of fan patches and translations and stuff. So Night of Dragon and Trekkies Unite 118 and the various people that they work with have been participating in making a lot of patches, and that includes improving the video quality of the standard versions of a lot of these games that use MPEG. So like Lunar has an MPEG version and non-MPEG version. They patched it to improve the video quality of the non-MPEG version with, freaking video codec wizardry in a way that makes it so that it's almost as good as the MPEG version. And in many ways it's more convenient because you don't have to deal with the VCD thing. So it's actually it's become less and less important because only a handful of games actually need that card, and I think Trekkies and his teams have made it so that they're not super relevant or required anymore, making the gulf between the Fenrir and the Sadiator even smaller. Oh, that's right. Let's see, we're on Route 18, right? So I gotta open up my notes. Who's on Route 18? I know it's a lot of Pokemon. Yeah, I have this all planned out too. Caterpie, Metapod, Weedle, Kakuna. Oh boy. Venonat, Heracross, Herbal, Silcoon, Cascoon. Okay, it's easy enough. Let's see. What's the encounter rate? So, encounter rate is 20, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10, 2 20s, 4 10s, 5 5, 4 4, 1 1. And I have 9 separate Pokemon I need to account for. I might not be able to fit all of them. I'm thinking, for the sake of convenience, I will drop Metapod and Kakuna to put it back down to 7. I want Silcoon and Cascoon to spawn in just so that you don't have to guess about the freaking Whirlpool, because it's like one of the worst parts of Gen 3. That and Feeboss and that kind of stuff. So, let's do Caterpie. 5 to 6. Caterpie. 5 to 6. Needle. And then 10, 10, 10. Let's go back to Bulbapedia. Silcoon, Bulbapedia. Level 7. Okay, so it's pretty similar. So I want to make it so that the encounters make sense from the evolutionary standpoint of you know, these are the levels you expect these Pokemon to exist at. They shouldn't be, definitely shouldn't have any Pokemon under the level that they evolve at. So, start with that. What's my last 10% gonna be? Caterpie, Weedle, Venonat. Yeah, let's do Venonat. Venonat and Heracross are the only one that's left, and then maybe I can add in Metapod back in. Shoot, what level does Venonat do anything at? Venonat. Oh, sweet, I got my full range. So, on the standard routes, I tend to try to keep guys, I think like 10 to 30 if I can help it. So, Venonat. So it's 20, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10. So 5s, I don't want to have anything that's like below 5 in terms of counter rate. So let's do 10, 30. Heracross. Do 2 of those. So that's 20, 20, 10, 10, 10, 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. And then there's 2 4s and 2 1s. So let's add yeah, we can get Metapod and Kakuna back in. 7, 2, 9. Metapod. Kakuna. There we go. And I believe this water is a surfing and fishing target, is it not? Why is it elevation 3 pass? I don't understand. Oh, is this like walkable? Crap, that's not what I wanted. So by repel manips, do you mean like just manipulating encounter rates to I'm not sure if I follow. So like, I mean, it's a common tactic if I'm understanding what I assume you're talking about, which is just like making sure that you run into what you want to run into by using a repel and a Pokemon that's at a certain level to scare away anything lower level. That's basically how you get the roaming Pokemon with any sort of consistency. That and the Mach Bike. Honestly, kind of hilarious, but whatever. Okay, just real quick. I gotta go find a puddle. So these puddles you can walk over. So that wasn't what I was trying to do. But I do want... Heyo! That is exactly what I want. This... Oh, these options already exist. Great, fantastic. Okay, cool. Alright. And I lost them. They were there and I lost. Is it this? It's not this. Ah, come on. Oh, it's just right there. Okay, this one's below the puddle next to the bridge thing. So let's get that. Below the puddle next to the bridge thing. Alright. Let's just get all these guys. Yeah, there. And then, Oh. Oh, yeah, they avoided that problem, didn't they? That was smart of them. I see. So, I'm not super concerned about preventing something like that in the game. I mean, honestly, like, if you really want to find a Pokemon, I want to facilitate that rather than the other way around. However, that said, the way I even, like, arrange my encounters, it doesn't much matter. Like, it's... like, save for the Pokemon that absolutely needed to be at a certain level. Like that Caterpie and Weedle and stuff, and the Wurmple. Oh, there it is. I didn't really have any issue with just making all the Pokemon a certain level. So, like, they're all roughly, like, 10 to 30 in the main routes, and in the dungeons, higher. Okay, so this is actually surfable now. Yeah. I don't have surf to test it out, but I'll still put in the raw data. Fishing. God, fishing and surfing. Okay, surfing. So here's a couple of things. So first off, I want this to be a bug-heavy area. So let's see if there's something I can put in here that'll make sense on the water. Oh, wouldn't that be neat? Butterfree and Beedrill flying over the water. I think that'd be fun. Surskit, there we go. That's what we actually want. That should be like the main encounter, right? Surskit. Re-evolve. 22. So I'll put him 10 to 22. That should be fine. And then 23. 2330. Mass grain. Now I got 3 more spots here. Now, I feel like I could get away with Butterfree, Butterfree and Beautifly as like we're just like hanging out, flying overhead. But who takes the last spot? Now it's kind of like a toss-up between Beedrill, Venomoth, and Dustox. Or I could get a little bit more creative with it. Amaranth. I like that. It's a bug, isn't it? Actually, for lore reasons, I don't think... crap. Why did I do that? For lore reasons, I don't think that should be away from Aura, so maybe not the fossil one. Let's see. Poliwag feels like a good fit. Huntail. There's the Polys. I'm not really feeling Slowpoke here. Chinchou, that's like a deep sea guy. Maybe Meryl. Wooper feels closer. But I feel like frog theme, right? So maybe just the Poliwag. Or rather, a Politoad. No, not Politoad. Poliwhirl. Lotad! Oh, Lotad makes perfect sense. Yeah, okay, here, Lotad. We're doing Lotad. Okay. Old Rod. So, Old Rod, I don't need to fit into like the whole Old Rod specifically means Magikarp trope. Like that's played out. So Old Rod will give you the Lotad by default. We'll also give you a Poliwag. Now, for the Old Rod, let me check. What did I do on the other routes for fishing? $5 to $15. Okay, 5 to 15, 10 to 30, and then 40 50. That's the balance that I figured would work out. Surfing. Fishing. 5 to 15. 5 to 15. And just for sanity, let's check on Ollie. Lotad. And then I think Slowpoke is a good fit. I think Mudkip is a good fit. No, that's more like that'll be further west. No, that's an ocean. Ocean, beach, deep water, like duck. There we go. Let's double check some guys. Deep water. There we go. Already found a friendly place for you. Beach, deep water. Cold deep water. Surskit, not for fishing. Fossils have their own area already. Bidoof doesn't exist yet. Barboach, that's a deeper water thing. Okay. So, Poliwhirl, 25. So let's do Poliwhirl. $25 to $30. Actually, let me just open up this thing and just copy it over now. Okay, so who else? Slowpoke. Slowpoke. Okay, third spot. Psyduck. So, Poliwrath and Politoed. Waterstone. So, Politoed is going to be a friendship. Poliwrath is Waterstone. So, we're done with the Polys. Lombre. Let's see. What did I put in there? Lombre. Give a Slowbro. You know, so Lombre feels, I don't know. Okay, it's fine where it is. Swampert. I think the last two are like really low possibility already, so let's do a little bit redundant here. So we'll do Golduck. Okay, so the encounter tables are set up. Let's test them. Well, actually, I need to put up my blockers. Oh, that's right. I'm clearing this out for a reason. Nah, actually, they were fine where they were. This is the area I need to block. So let's put up a quick sign. So every release I have like something like this, or like progress has stopped, so I go around type deal. And just making sure that it's sufficiently blocked. Okay, and now we're going to copy the signpost I made over here. And then okay, so that's correct. All right. So I think for now, I mean, I still have to. This is an entrance to a location I need to build later, but that's something I need to do off stream. For now, I believe this is a good enough place to call it. So let's kind of figure out. There's like 70 planned unique locations in this game, and so far available is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the way I'm doing the version numbers... Oh, Shane, you're back? I'm actually starting to wrap up. 8 locations are effectively ready for the player. So the way I'm doing my releases is that I'm doing versions 0.01 through 0.70 as a number of locations available to explore. And then the last 30% of the versioning is going to be how much of the story I judge to be complete. Now, there is like the very beginning part of the story, and there's people around here ready to talk to. Now, as far as there's a trainer or two I need to add to these routes to make them more complete. But for right now, well, it's a bit late for well, I'll see if I can't time it for the ending music. So I think what this is, going to be version 0.08. I'm going to push this up to SegaExtreme.net, so if you're interested in actually playing this game, there should be... Oh, I miscounted. This is 0.09. So 1, 2, 3. This is a dungeon. 4, 5, 6. This is a dungeon. 7, 8, 9. This dungeon needs to be generated. So that's... I'm not doing that tonight. So this is version 0.09. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to build okay, come on. We're going to build the patch and then push it up to Seg Extreme. So make IP patch from here to the right. This is the unaltered Pokemon Emerald. It's not valid. Document not valid. And then the UPS patch, because some people want that for some reason. Oh, whatever. Anyway, it's, Shane, you missed some fun times. Wheat Thins kept me company, and then the game earlier on, and Trevo was here. We actually had a lot of people in chat hanging out and talk about video game stuff. It's nice to be back. I'm going to try and do this a little bit more regularly. I mean, obviously I always say that, and I always end up going dark for like 3 months. But this time, I had an excuse. There's a child involved. You're smacking rocks. He's talking about Deep Rock Galactic, not anything untowards. Where is the patch? Okay, so here's the fresh new patch, right? So let's open up the Pokemon Emerald Nova zip. Drag these in. Replace. Okay, and then we can go over to Sega Extreme. Basically my homepage. And here's, I have a little article talking about why I'm doing the game, what I'm planning on doing it and stuff. So if you want to go to segaextreme.net and read what I have planned for the game and what's in it. And then over here is the resource page, which I will now post an update to. Release new version. This is version 0.09, as we've determined. So I think Sculptor Onsen now open. I think that's the main part of this update. Also, Route 18 if you like bugs. Minor tile fixes. Just want to double check that the creation date does not look correct. So let's, yes, drop them. And yes. All right. So 6/24. That's today. Good. All right. So let's modify. Nova. There's a zip file. Alrighty. Does not have an allowed extension. Oh, new content. My bad. That's where it goes. This is for like images and promotional material and stuff. Anyway, version 0.09 is live on segaextreme.net. Shane has been kind enough to post the link to the news story. If you want to go directly to the resource, it is here. I would appreciate playtesters to check for map errors, bad text, something that's broken, you know, anything like that. And also like critiques on Pokemon placement, map layout, stuff like that. Are you getting lost too easy? You know, does certain stuff not make sense? Honestly, I've been hurting from playtesters between this and my last couple games. So any feedback is appreciated. And as you saw earlier in today's stream, just like random throwaway feedback will actually make it into the game. That's why we have an Onsen now. So, have fun. I am wrapping up the stream for tonight. It's been a fun almost 4 hours. I'm glad to be back. Like I said, I'm going to keep working on Pokemon Emerald Nova, keep adding maps, I'm going to add content, there's going to be an actual story, it's going to be enjoyable. I'm going to implement a gym challenge mechanic at some point once the story is progressed enough where you can actually receive challengers at your home gym. You know, it'll be, you know, because of, if you read my article, you'll see described, there's not going to be as many trainers as in the original Emerald because all the trainers will be able to scale with you. So instead of having, you know, hundreds of trainers that you fight once, you're going to have several dozen trainers that you can fight over and over again and still have a you know, relevant challenge. So the end game in this version of the game shouldn't be horrifically boring compared to like the original. Yeah. So the thing about Sega Extreme is it's not just Sega Extreme. It has a very long history. And if you actually look at my Sega Extreme appreciation thread, I kind of talk about how I felt about it and how I feel about the community and some of the history, and other people come and chime in. But you see, it's not just Sega Extreme, it's also Nintendo Extreme, it's also 3DO Extreme. It's just that we've kind of gravitated toward the Sega Saturn as of the last several years. But there's other stuff in here. There's some Sega stuff, there's Tendo Web. So you guys, I invite everyone from the HMA Discord, everyone from the Pokemon ROM hacking community, come over, take over the handheld section of the Sega Extreme. I'm sure Dibs will be glad to have new members posting, but just take it over, start talking about Pokemon ROM hacks, start talking about Drill Dozer ROM hacks or other GBA ROM hacks or whatever, or GBC ROM hacks, or even Game Boy original ROM hacks. We're always happy to have more people expanding the expertise of the community. I mean, honestly, the Game Cure could pull it off. And I'm actually, I'm waiting on I have a person that does all my console repairs and mods and stuff because I'm too lazy to do it most of the time. She just did my my backlit GBA with emerald colored translucent casing, so it's on brand. I'm waiting for her to source a proper integer scaled Game Gear screen so that I can go out and get a Game Gear flash cart from Crix. I think it's like a Game Gear EverDrive, and actually play the full Game Gear library properly, along with the Master System. Yeah. Will I ever make a Game Gear homebrew? I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm probably not. But we'll see. Anyway, update is live. Thank you all for joining my stream. I hope to do this more regularly, maybe see you in a couple weeks or something like that. I will post an update in the relevant channels where you found me before. I'm not really active on Twitter anymore, but if you're in any of the relevant Discords, including my own, you will know about it. If you're in the HMA Discord, you'll probably know about it. If you're in the Sega Extreme Discord, you will absolutely know about it. Good night, everyone. See you later.